So,
we just finished
week 3.
My team was at St. John the Evangelist in Borger.
And my team was at St. Joseph's in Amarillo. All in all, pretty good week, I think. Pretty solid.
Yeah. Do you have any good stories from this week?
Like funny?
Yeah, funny or just...
I guess mine's like kind of funny, but it's not like really funny, I guess. I don't know. I had these twins in my class, and Quaid calls them dopey because they're just like, boo boo. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but they're like, whenever you talk to them, they're just like, oh, really? Oh, no way. Like they about anything. And so on the first day we were talking about like what is a mystery, like talking about mysteries of our faith and like how the Trinity is like 3 persons in one. It's kind of a mystery because we don't know, exactly how that works because we're human. Anyways, plus like rosary mysteries. I don't know. It's an important word. And so I said, what's a mystery? And one of the twins goes, question mark? And they made it like, is that backwards? You can't do it. Question mark? And I said, that's exactly right. Yeah, it's like something that we really can't explain. It's something that we don't really have an answer to. I thought he was answering it. And so I was like, dang, that kid, I like that. I like what he did there. And then yesterday, Quaid was like giving instructions to like a big group of the kids, like all the kids. And he was like, does that make sense? Like he yelled it, does that make sense? And all of them were like, yeah. And then I looked over, I was like watching from afar, and the kid goes, and like did a question mark and was like, doesn't make sense. So I think what happened was I said, what's a mystery? And he didn't know. So he made a question mark because he didn't know the answer. And I was like, yes, that's the answer. Like, I don't know. It was weird.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Are you ready for it? I walk out of the room, and this sweet little girl in my class runs up to me. Miss Mallory, there's a hole in the wall. I said, what? And she's like, just come see. So I walk into my classroom, and sure enough, there's a giant hole in the wall.
Oh.
And I said, who did this? And they all look at me, and they're like, Mr. Colin? And I'm like, oh my gosh. An interview with him will be in this vlog about his experience with the hole that he put in the wall.
Right here.
Yes. Okay, sir. What happened here?
Well, as you can see, the hole here is about the size of my arm and shoulder. So I was teaching class, and we were having a bomb class, and we got to the point where I was going to talk about Christ's glorified body. I mean, how else do you teach 3rd and 4th graders about a glorified body? They don't know what that is. So I asked them, I said, so what does Jesus do with his glorified body? He walks through walls, right? So do you guys think I have a glorified body? And they're like, no, you don't have a glorified body. I was like, all right, let's test it. I'm going to show you guys. So thinking that I was going to run into the cinder blocks, because I thought they were all the way over, I lined up right about here. And I said, all right, look guys, I've got a glorified body. And I ran at the wall and jumped and hit the wall and fell to the ground with a loud bang. And I got up to screaming kids looking at the hole in the wall.
How did you feel after you noticed the hole in the wall?
Everything was fine except for my heart. My heart was hurt. So I immediately told some of the teachers, and they, of course, were like, oh, no, you're fine. Don't worry about it. I almost put another hole in the wall. And scoot away from there. Then I had to go talk to Father. That was hard. But he cracked up anyways. He was good. It was fine.
And what's your new nickname?
Harvey Wallbanger or Walling Colin. Whichever you prefer.
Okay.
Okay. What was the most rewarding thing that happened this week?
So, we were going to adoration on Thursday, and I had a lot of time to prepare to like get the kids ready to go. And so we talked about like what we're gonna do in adoration, like all the different like things you could do in adoration, and what adoration is and why there's a monstrance and all this kind of stuff. Because I have first and second grade, and I had like 10 minutes left, and so I was planning on playing in adoration. I was planning on playing the song Through and Through by Will Reagan, and the words are like, you see me and you know me and you love me through and through. I find that I'm safe and warm in your loving arms. And that's like the only words that they just like repeat over and over again. And so I had my guitar and I was like, okay, I'll just play it for them. And like I said, you know, get ready because we're going to be like in the presence of Jesus, body, blood, soul, and divinity. So we want to know the words so we can sing to him. And they were like, okay, yeah, like I'm about it. So I started playing and singing, and I get like one or two of the like verses, okay, one or two of the lines in, and this girl just starts crying and crying and crying and crying, like not just like eyes watery, but like tears, and she's like audibly sobbing. So I'm like, do I stop? Like, is she having like a moment? I did not know. So I like finished the last little part that I was on, and I stopped, and the kids were like talking amongst themselves ish, and I called her over, and I like made her take deep breaths. I said, what's wrong, friend? And she said, I'm really sad. And I said, oh, I'm sorry that you're sad. What about? And she said, my dad died. And I just like froze, and I was like recently? When was it? You know? And she said, in the past year. And like, I don't know what it was in that moment, but I felt hurt, pain right there, right then. And so I just started bawling too, like tears down my face, like snot out of my, like it's bad. Like I'm crying. And so I like just grab her and I'm like, she's crying, I'm crying. And then like other kids see that we're crying, so they're crying. Like it was, but it was like, I don't know, it was like a cry where I was like, I'm so happy that this is happening, but I'm so sad that like they have to feel, you know what I mean? Like they go through stuff like this that I have no experience with. And so I like called all of my friends down onto the floor, and they like all circled in so close, and I've like never felt that like, I don't know how to explain it. That like closeness. You know, I don't know how to, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like we all had the same understanding, and we all like grew closer to one another like right then. And I talked about how like it's okay to be sad and it's okay to be lonely, and in life like that stuff happens. But it's also important to remember that we have people who love us and people who care about us even if we don't know it. And so like I talked about our friends and like how we can be good friends to each other even if we don't know what's going on, and when our friends are sad or whatever. And then I talked about how like we're about to go see the person who loves us more than anything. We're about to go see the person who is love and who made us in their image and like loves us enough to come and be with us. And so like we're all crying. It's just a mess. We go into adoration, and I start like Jesus is there, and I'm playing, and all the kids, like the voices are just ringing out. These little kids singing like, you see me, you know me, you love me through and through. And this girl's crying behind me again, so I like turn around and make sure that she's like okay. And another one of the little girls has her arm wrapped around her and is like rubbing her arm, and they're just singing, and it was the like purest love I've ever seen. I don't know. It was like I died inside. So that was my like most reward. And I was like impatient that day. Like I felt like my kids weren't listening to my first class, and then like that happened, and I don't know. It's crazy how like she opened that wound as we were going into adoration to the person who can like heal all wounds. I don't know. It's crazy. But anyways, that was mine. Okay, your turn.
I have two. They're both kind of short. I guess the first one, like with all of the kids, is we like really have been struggling with music prep. So we like to teach the kids the songs that we're going to sing during Mass. And I guess I kind of like took over music prep this week, but I like doing it. And so the first day, like, I think maybe Regina was helping them learn the songs and everything. And the next day we went to mass, and they just like weren't really singing. And I was like, okay, like, what can we do? Because these masses are really for them, like, to help them see that like church is fun and there's very interesting things that go on in the mass, and like it's so special that we get to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the next day, I just like, when I was doing music prep, and I just like sat on the floor with them, and they all just like crowded around me.
Mm.
And so I'm like, okay, guys, like, yesterday I didn't really hear you guys singing. Like I said, I was singing so loud, but I felt like I was singing by myself. So I need you guys to help me, and I need you to sing louder than me. So we went through all the songs, and like, music prep really isn't all that exciting.
Mm-mm. They don't really like it that much.
And so like some of the kids are singing, you know, and some of them aren't. Well, we go to mass, and they do a pretty good job, except nobody sang during the communion song.
Oh, that's the easiest one.
Yeah. So like I'm singing so loud by myself with Regina, I guess too. And so the next day at music prep again, I'm like, you guys did such a great job with the other 3 songs, but the communion song, like, I didn't hear one single person singing it. And they're like, oh, okay. So we practice, and we like do a little game out of it, and we go to mass the next day, and I like almost started bawling because we start the communion song, and you just hear all these little voices singing it.
There's nothing more beautiful.
And
there's nothing more beautiful. Like, so pure. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
And they just like, that was the only day they sang the communion song. They didn't sing it the next day. That was the only day. And I just like I was like trying to keep myself together and not cry. But it was so beautiful. And especially because like, that is when like we're receiving Jesus, you know, and so they were like singing about that, and it was just really, really cool. Okay. And then my other one, this was just like kind of like a very pure love that you were talking about. Mm-hmm. So Regina and I this week, we stayed with a host family that had 5 kids, and their youngest one was 4. Mm-hmm. And we pull up at the house, and she's waiting for us at the front door. Mm-hmm. And she's the cutest human being I have ever seen. We walk in the door. She's never met us before. Mm-hmm. We're complete strangers to her. And she just hugs us. Mm-hmm. Like the biggest hug that like such a small person could give. And so they show us where we're staying, so we take our stuff there. She sits like down a few steps. And the next thing you know, she's running down the steps. And she just wants to hug us again. Aww. She's just, all week she was like that. She just wanted to love on us, and it was like nice because like, you know, we were loving on her, but like more than anything, she was loving on us. And she gave so much love to our whole team, and she was just
so cute.
It was so cute.
Dang.
Hello everyone. We are driving to Childress right now, but I wanted to make sure we include it because we forgot it last week in our vlog. So here's the pudding that I got at training. So it's been in my car for 3 weeks now in the hot. And we're going to play What Are the Odds? Quaid, back here, is going to be the victim. So, we have a set number 1 in 20, okay? So that's just how it goes, okay?
Between 1 and 20?
Yep, the odds are 1 in 20.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, 4. Dang it. Well, tune in next time to see if somebody has to eat this nasty.
Exciting.
Okay. I have one last thing to say, and that is
sleep tight, babies.